Excited to be off to Phoenix to play on the Stratos again, and we're actually going to start assembling stuff now because we've got all the bits and pieces that we need to put on the block before we kind of lower it in and see how it fits. So we've got clutch parts, as you can see, new slave cylinder, new throwout bearing, some gaskets, and rare as rocking horse shit, an ECU harness, thanks to a very nice man in California who's actually just taken in another Alfa 164 and is stripping that down for spares. So if anyone needs Alfa 164 parts right now, February 2021, there is a car being broken up. Oh, and perhaps importantly, some bribes for the workforce. Back on Power Road for some more Stratos. Making some room. No idea what David's up to. Moving the chocolate that I bought him, I think. Reliable German engineering for you. There's a Maserati you don't want. Suppose we better get on with some work then. More bits, reconditioned starter motor, reconditioned alternator, those clutch bits, and our newly ceramic coated exhaust manifolds. Beautiful. These are not the actual wheels, these are borrowed off a 308 that's currently being converted to a 288 GTO, and the customer doesn't know that he doesn't need them at the moment. Mine are on their way from Italy, apparently.
It's coming up.
Oh, it's pretty easy.
Yeah.
So it's literally 2 bolts at the top and 2 at the bottom. 2 nuts. So those are the 2 brackets at the bottom with a quick release bolt to get that clamshell off. Very simple and quick. Well, just surveying the underside of the dash because we want to fit some switches on a little panel somewhere. Just cleaning up the transmission. There's the motor with the rocker covers in place.
I've been through that box, I've been through this box.
And were those the new guys that you were gonna try out? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm happy with them.
Yeah.
The nice thing on this stuff is they already had posted prices, and so I know that they're always going to be the same.
So this is not a standard Alfa AC compressor.
Nope.
It just happens to be almost identical.
Yeah.
A little bit smaller, right? Or no, just shorter and the clutch end. Yeah. Okay. That's this bracket here from Listerbell, which fits on that side of the motor. Not that you English guys will need AC compressors, but getting there, slowly but surely. Got a new slave cylinder for the transmission, so this old one's coming off. That was from those Centerline guys in Colorado. Readily available spare. Ceramic coated manifold in place with copper crush nuts so that they don't come undone.
Where's the...
So the factory mount is on the right hand side, and all the listerbells appear to have it on the left hand side for the alternator, which would make sense because there's more room. But what we don't have is a mount from listerbell.
No. Yeah, go on. You get.
That said, while we're monkeying around fitting the transmission, once we got the engine into the engine bay, there's a surprising amount of space behind it before you get to the firewall, so we can probably fit the alternator in the original factory position. Back side of the motor.
And on this one as well.
Okay.
On here. Yep.
So now we need to do one of these.
What me sarcastic and stupid.
The other side didn't go on quite so easily, but with a little gentle persuasion from Mike. That's it.
One more washer.
Did it help? Are you good? Don't know.
Just got one stubborn nut, there's always one. Loosened it off before. There you go.
Proper leverage.
Not that helped.
Yeah. Just your presence was enough.
One minute presence is
For fitting the rear mount onto the 2 bolts on the transmission and 1 into the actual cylinder block. The listerbell part specific to fit to the chassis.
Of course, if this is too difficult, we could swap engines.
Colonoscopy or something.
Is that linked to that? Oh, okay. Have you done surgery before?
The other engine mounts is off the bottom of the listerbell AC compressor bracket. Hangs off the bottom of that AC mount.
Just like the factory one did too, actually.
Yeah.
What's the technique? You're trying to not make it tip.
That's the idea. You're not going to get any better than that for where the belts go there, right?
I mean, I can put a crossbar. All the thing is this is we got to flip the motor around.
Oh yeah.
But apart from that, Mark, I've
having a forklift handy and someone who knows how to use it is a big improvement on messing around with engine cranes and hydraulic pumping, etc, etc. It's pretty level actually, yeah. I like that gunmetal transmission. I got it. I think I got it. Incredible how accurate you can be with one of these if you know what you're doing, and obviously it takes little adjustments inch by inch to get the motor to drop in nicely.
That's zip tied there. Okay.
We realised afterwards we should have probably taken the anti-roll bar out the back, but we got it past it with a little hand manoeuvring too. There's the sump just lowering into that gap by that chassis frame there, and that's the front left engine mount. So onto the bulkhead, actually that's the fuel tank there. That was the last one that kind of came into play. Sorry if this bit's a little tedious for you all, but it's a monumental moment obviously from my perspective, so I wanted to catch it on film.
Yeah. The drone is. Don't we need to make a droning noise like a? Oh, I am.
So we're still recording. I have to sit and watch through these hours of drivel.
That's why I do it. Now I realise that was what.
So there's that rear exhaust manifold now clear and under the roll bar, and actually again probably didn't need to fit that manifold before we threw the motor in the back. Plenty of accessibility once it's in there. So there's the single rear engine mount. Literally an eighth of an inch. We're just lining that up with the holes so we can get that bolt through. That's using the 11mm and it's a really snug fit.
Who are you taking on vacation at a small mouse with a really limited shoe selection?
Yeah, called David.
No, what was that mouse called? Was there a mouse that had a name?
Mickey?
Oh, there you go. Mickey and Minnie, yeah.
At this point I should point out that David also has a Stratos Replica. His is a Hawk model. He's gone for reds. In addition to that, when he bought the unfinished kit, it actually got a Honda motor fitted in it. So there's quite a lot of banter about that, to say the least.
Certain angles, the valve colours look exactly the same colour as the proper Stratos. That red really jumps out at you.
The proper well, the Honda Stratos.
Could be a VTEC. Could be a VTEC engine.
The Hawk Honda. I'm sure it would be very nice. Take it down the drag strip with all the other hot Honda boys.
My Ricer buddies.
That's right.
Yep.
Is that the real reason you got rid of the Subaru? So you're not with all the racers?
Yeah, I'm too old now.
That's how he pronounces races anyway.
Oh, the Ricers!
Ricers?
The Ricers are coming! Bloody hell, mate!
So that's about it for this week in the stratosphere. Hope you found it informative and not too tedious, the whole engine mounting thing, but there's a monumental aspect of putting this car together is marrying the motor to the chassis, so I just wanted to record it for prosperity. Hopefully there was some useful info for you fellow lister kit builders in terms of what mounts go where, maybe pre-oversizing the holes in the chassis to make life easier, what to bolt on first and what not to bother with, and maybe taking out that rear sway bar, just anti-roll bar, just to make life a little bit easier. So if you've got nothing better to do, watch some of my other videos, more madness. I will be doing one on the race car actually, Porsche 944 with a small block Chevy, because that was quite the conversion. And thanks for watching. Encourage other people to watch and subscribe, and see you again soon.